Hello and welcome. It is Tuesday. What day is it, Landon?
Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. It's official. This is week 2 of being Don't Travel, but the newest adventure for us is that we now officially have a executive order in place from our governor here in Michigan saying stay at home. Doesn't really change what I'm doing. And after all, northern Michigan, we can still go out, we can walk, we can hike, we're allowed to do the out sort of, but it's official. We need to keep our distance. Today, let's see. We are doing some more with knots.
Yep.
And I've got a pretty cool gearbox I want to show you. So, you absolutely can help with the gearbox. Okay, so let's nonetheless get started. We have to review the knots we did yesterday. So, of course, we have our lines here. So let's switch the camera. That's right. Okay, so we're going to first start it out. These are the knots we did yesterday. So if you missed it yesterday, you can always tune back in and see that one. But we did the really easy overhand knot, which was just coming through the hole just like that. The bunny. Oh, you're wobbling the table a whole lot. People at home might be thinking there's an earthquake. So that's your real quick overhand knot. You make a loop and you pass it through, and we've done that one. And then, of course, we did, problem with this overhand knot. Look at you, you're wobbling the table again. We'll make him stand back there. But we noticed that if you pull this one too tight, all of a sudden it can get so tight you can't undo it. So then we said, well, what happens if you just push the back of the bunny through the hole instead of the whole head? And now, of course, you can pull it really, really tight, but you can get it undone by pulling the bunny's head, and it just comes right undone. Then, of course, we did the thing that's not the square knot, didn't we? We combined two lines, and we started by twisting them up. And then we noticed that one of them was under and the other one was over. The blue one is under and the black one was over. And then we kept it and we wrapped it around again. And now if you notice, the black one is still on top and on top.
It's not a square knot.
But absolutely. We said this doesn't look like a square, does it? What does it look like?
A triangle hair knot.
A triangle hair knot. That's right. This is a triangle hair knot. So that's its official new name, triangle hair knot. But on with some new ones. A figure 8 knot. Now, this one's a lot like the overhand knot, where we used to just go whoop and go straight through the hole. But the figure 8 knot says, no, let's go around rather than go let's go around one more time and sneak up through the other side. And check it out. It actually gets a cool figure 8. Isn't that neat looking, Landa?
Mm-hmm.
Advantage here, you can pull it tighter and still get it undone. And it's called breaking the back of the knot. So, figure 8 knot. I'll do that again. Here we go. So we make a loop, and then rather than go up like this, which is what we would have done, I'm going to go around one more time. Whoop. I'm going to go around one more time, and then I'm going to go through. So I'm kind of going, if you thought of the bunny rabbit as coming out of the hole before, well, now the bunny rabbit's got to go back in the hole. He's got to go around the log and in the hole. So it's
around the tree.
Around the tree. I like the way you said that, Landon. All right. But now this next one, I always thought it was called the sheep bend. Like the black sheep, have you any wool? The sheep bend, but actually it's not. It's called the sheet bend. And it's a great way to connect two ropes together. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Two ropes together. The sheet bend. The sheet bend. We got this, I don't know, we got this thing. And let's just pretend we got a loop here. And I need to connect something to it. Well, I can take my other handy dandy one and I can, check it out, go out of the hole, under the log, and then go, oh, don't go back in the hole, just actually go back under your path. Like that. And then go, look at that. That's a beautiful sheet bend. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah. Landon, you're wobbling the table. But the cool thing about this one is that we can really crank on it and it just doesn't slip. It can be used for doing two different size ropes, two different size lines. You can do big line, little line. But again, it's really easy to so you got your one, you just tie it make a loop with it, and then you come through it, under it, and then don't go back in the hole, duck underneath it, just like that. And you can see that he's pulling down below. We're just going to take him like this, and we're going to make him turn like this, and we're going to push him onto the couch. Oh my goodness. You can tell we're getting a little loopy. So the other one I thought was kind of cool. I need you to hold this pole, just like that. Got to be right there. So it's got to be so you can see it on that camera. Okay, so we're gonna hold this pole. Yeah, I'm about to pull it over. So this one is kind of cool. It's called a half hitch. Pretend we're in the West, wild, wild West, and I wanna loop up my horse, and I'm just going to come around, and then I'm just going to basically do my overhand knot, and well, I mean that's it. That's a half hitch, except the problem, it doesn't really hold very well. I mean, so of course the half hitch, it goes around and it just comes through, and you're like, I mean, it works, but it's like it's where you would start because it doesn't actually hold on to anything. However, a clove hitch, not a clover, a clove hitch is actually a little different. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to make a loop. Notice I'm making a loop, and I'm going to put that one. Please don't pull on that. Thank you. I'm going to put it over, and then I'm going to make another loop. I'm going to put that one over too. And now check it out. When you pull this guy, they kind of come out in opposite directions, but I can start really cranking on it and it doesn't go anywhere. That's a pretty cool one. But when it comes off the top, watch this. Here it goes. I just popped it off the top. There's no knot at all. It's like magic. I'm going to do it again. Here we go. So you make a loop, just like that, and we toss that one over the top. And then we do that again, and we toss that one over the top, and that's it. And then you pull, and now I can start cranking on one of them, and it just sort of like, you see, it kind of binds in on itself, which is really cool. But once you slide it off the end, it all just, there's no knot. It's like magic, magic, magic. Give me your finger. Hold it up really high. One finger. One finger. There we go. Ready? We're going to clove hitch your finger. So I'm making a loop, and I'm putting it over, and I'm making another loop, and I'm putting that one over. And now see, I got his finger. Haha. He's so stuck. Oh, and ta-da, there's no knot. It's just like magic. All right, enough about knots. Hopefully that was kind of interesting. But yeah, go ahead and watch it again. Play with, what else are we supposed to do? So go tie up a tree or something. Maybe you can use some of those knots and climb something. We can do more tomorrow because I'm kind of enjoying knots. But yesterday we started talking about gears. And today I wanted to do some compound gears. Now, compound gears are when you stack one gear on top of another gear. So it's not just gear A and gear B meshing together like this, but all of a sudden you've got gear C connected to gear A, and then you got gear D connected, and you get all these other gears connected, and they're spinning on the same axles, and you can do some pretty amazing things with them. So I was out, and I'm losing parts. I don't even know. So I found this. I don't even know when I bought this. It was a while ago, but I found it on Amazon. It's a really, really cool little gearbox because it actually has a lot of different ways that you can set up these compound gears. So I wanted to kind of show you this. I actually used it to make a little mini tank once. Anyway, this is what it ends up looking like. So I have two different gear setups. You'll notice if you look carefully on on one of them, the axle is coming out of the top hole. On the other, the axle is coming off the bottom hole. Now, when you spin, like we'll go with this side first. Notice, oh, whoa,
Sorry.
where'd you go? Hello? I don't know. Hang on. I got to figure out where my camera went. Let's see.
Well,
there we go.
weird.
All of a sudden, the GoPro started making all kinds of noise. Oh, there it goes again.
Huh.
I think it might actually be recording now. There's a light on it. That's interesting. Anyway, when you look at it, this side, notice only the yellow gears are spinning. The blue gears are actually just there for spacing. I wanted to figure out what is that gear ratio. Okay. Here we go. So let's figure it out. I happen to look up this one, and I happen to know that on this, those yellow gears. Well, I'm going to start with the axle. That first one, when the axle's connected to it. So this gear right here, that one I know happens to have 36 teeth. So I'm going to put a 36 teeth there. And now it's connected to this tiny little yellow one down there. So when I spin the big one, it's connected to that little yellow one. Don't worry about the big yellow, the teeth over here on the side. That little one, that's 12. So I'm going to put a 12. And now some of you might say, hey, that looks like a fraction. Right, it is. But I'm going to add another fraction to it. So I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to say, wait a second. So now this little yellow one is actually connected to this. It's called a crown gear. That has 34 teeth on it. So, but then the motor, where is a motor? Where is a motor? Aha. So here's an example. Now these are great little motors because like they're 5 volt. You can run them on 7, you can run them on 3. They're like 50 cents a piece. But this little purple gear, which is actually the one, it goes in the hole and then it connects to that crown gear. That's only got 8 teeth on it. So now if we break out our trusty handy dandy calculator, and think of this as like fractions. So handy dandy calculator, I am going to go 36 divided by 12 times 34 divided by 8. And I get 12.75, which means that when this motor in here spins 12 times, this axle over here is going to spin 1 time. That's kind of cool. But now let me show you the other side, because that's even crazier. I'm going to spin it slowly and you kind of see it. So first you see that yellow one. This one is going to actually spin the blue one, and the blue one is going to spin the other blue one, and the blue one is going to spin the other blue one, and the blue one is going to spin the yellow one, and the yellow one finally connects back to the motor. So watch really slowly as so that first yellow one is going super slow. I mean, it's so slow you can barely even tell that it's spinning. But it's turning the blue one, and then the blue one is turning the other middle blue one, and then that middle blue one is turning the third blue one, and then that last blue one is turning the yellow one, and the yellow one finally would be getting all the way over there to the crown gear, and the crown gear would be connected to the motor. So what is this one doing? Now let's check this out. So I already know that, so we're going to draw a line. So we got to do our math here. So we know that that first yellow gear has 36 teeth. And that one is connected to that little blue one down there, which has 12. And then that little blue one down there is connected to the first blue one. So that's a 36. That has 36. I'm going to put a little 1 over that so I know that that's the first blue one. And that goes to another blue one, which is the 12 tooth. And you could, of course, go and count all this up if you really wanted to, but I don't want to. But then that little blue one is connected to the second. Those are connected together. That little blue one in there and this bigger blue one. So that, of course, brings us to another 36. which of course goes to another 12, which is down here. So I'm going to put a little 2 up there because I know that's the second big 36 tooth. So that's the first big 36, that's the second big 36, and that's a little 12. But then it jumps over there to the next 36 tooth gear, which is the third, but then that one is connected to this yellow one down here in the bottom. And that little yellow one in there also happens to have 12. But then that little yellow one is actually connected to the crown gear, which is not 36, but it's in fact 34. There's only 34 teeth on that one. And then that 34 would connect back to the motor, which is this guy here, which has this little purple gear. And that purple gear only has 8 teeth on it. Okay, so this is kind of nuts. So here we go. We got to keep track. Help me keep track. You ready? Whoop, wrong one. Hi. What? There, not my camera. There we go. Woo! Clear that. Okay, so we're going to start with the 36 divided by 12. 36 divided by 12. Times another 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 34 divided by 8. That one's different. 34 divided by 8. And check that out. We get 344.25. So what does that mean? What that means is that when this motor over here spins 344 times, that's this little guy. When this guy goes and spins 344 times, whatever's connected to this axle is only going to spin once. Imagine the power. That's called gearing for torque. So this motor here is going to spin 344 times, and this will only spin once. But on the other side, this motor would spin 12 times, and the axle would spin once. So this axle over on the left-hand side is going to go a whole lot faster than this axle on the right-hand side. But the axle on the right-hand side will have a ton more power. Think of your 10-speed bike if you need to. Your gears give you different amounts of power and different amounts of speed. So you're always trading. Do I want more power? Do I want speed? Do I want power? Do I want speed? Power, speed, power, speed, power, speed. I don't know, but you have to figure it out. And now you know. I actually borrowed this method of organizing my gears from chemistry, stoichiometry, actually. That's all I got for today, though. Have a wonderful, awesome, super fabulous day. Enjoy. Don't get too freaked out because you know what? Viruses are everywhere anyway. And just keep washing your hands. Keep hugging your family. Don't hug your neighbors. I guess we're not supposed to do that anymore. Go for walks. Take the dog out. Don't forget to feed the fish. They need you to. Get some sleep. Learn something new. And go tie some knots. I will see you back tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's see if we can figure out how to turn this video off. Nope, wait, that's not the video. Hang on.